Hello guys, welcome to part 3 of the 100 series of questions and answers when it comes to Patente. In today's class, we'll be covering corsia. But before we get to corsia, we have la carreggiata, because inside la carreggiata, their corsia is formed. So we'll cover la carreggiata and corsia, types of corsia. Then we narrow it down to questions on la corsia. La carreggiata is that part of the road that is made for the circolazione of vehicles, which means the driving of vehicles. It can be senso unico, which is one way, or it can be doppio senso di circolazione, which is two-way drive. There will be vehicle coming from the opposite direction. And they are also letting us know tutte le corsie tranne le corsie di emergenza fanno parte della carreggiata. So every lanes on the road except the emergency lane is among the carreggiata. So they also let us know the attraversamenti pedonali, attraversamenti ciclabili are inside the carreggiata as well. We mean pedestrian crossing and bicycle crossing, which we call zebra crossing for foot and zebra crossing for bicycles, are inside la carreggiata. This is la carreggiata. The image you are seeing on the screen right now is la carreggiata. But they also remind us that there are some parts of the road that are not inside the carreggiata, but they are attached to la carreggiata. Non fanno parte della carreggiata, ma possono affiancarla marciapiede, banchine o viali pedonali, pista ciclabili, piazzola di sosta. So they are letting us know marciapiede, which is that part of the road made for foot, is not inside carreggiata. Because remember, carreggiata is where you can drive your vehicle, and in marciapiede you can't. Banchine is the edge of the road which separates carreggiata from the outside part of the road. They are letting us know it's not inside the carreggiata. You always have to think about carreggiata as where you can drive your vehicle, and in banchine you can't. Then we have pista ciclabile, which is the road for bicycle outside the carreggiata. You can't drive a vehicle there, it's made for only bicycle. The last one is piazzola di sosta. Piazzola di sosta is where you are driving and you are tired, right? You want to pull over, rest for a while, continue driving. Or if something happens, there's an emergency and there's piazzola di sosta there, you can also pull over to piazzola di sosta. And do you know why they said corsia di emergenza is not inside the carreggiata? Because corsia di emergenza, you can't drive your vehicle there. You can only occupy that corsia when there's an emergency, which means when your car breaks down or you are carrying a very ill patient. Now we understand what la carreggiata is. Let's now move to corsia. When it comes to corsia, this allows only one lane of vehicle, which means only one lane of vehicle can transit on la corsia. La corsia è una parte della carreggiata che consente la circolazione di una sola fila di veicoli. È limitata da striscia continua o discontinua. So they are letting us know la corsia is one lane made for one line of vehicle. It's only one line of vehicle that can pass on la corsia. We have two lines on the road. We have continua and discontinua. These two right here that you can see on the screen. Those are what divide the corsia. The discontinua one, which is the tratteggiata one, broken into pieces, give you opportunity to overtake a vehicle and crossing over it. If you come across this line where you are driving, you can cross over the line. While the continua line, which is the straight one, the solid line, you can't cross over it. Don't get me wrong, you can also overtake a motorcycle, but without crossing over the line. That is la corsia. But we have different types of corsia. We have corsia di marcia, corsia di sorpasso, corsia di accelerazione, and corsia di decelerazione. The difference between these four corsia, which are these four lanes, are corsia di marcia is where you drive your vehicle, which is the normal corsia you drive your vehicle is corsia di marcia. While corsia di sorpasso, like the one you are seeing on the screen right now, is made for overtaking. Anytime you want to overtake a vehicle, buy that corsia, then go back to corsia di marcia. Then we have corsia di accelerazione. Corsia di accelerazione helps you to enter into the highway. We have corsia di decelerazione, which helps you to exit the highway. Don't forget we also have corsia di emergenza, but just that corsia di emergenza is not inside the carreggiata. But corsia di emergenza is that lane you occupy when there is an emergency. Why do they even put this lane on the road? Think about it. You are driving in autostrada that have carreggiata separate, whereby all the vehicles are moving fast, and there's an accident. If there is no corsia di emergenza, how will the help get to you in time? How will the ambulance get to you in time? Corsia di emergenza is put there for the ambulance or assistance to get to you in time, because if there should be an accident on the road, the ambulance have a free road for them to drive to get to you. Because without corsia di emergenza, if there's an accident on the road, how will they get to you? There will be vehicles everywhere and it will be hard for them to actually locate the person. Now we know the full meaning of la carreggiata. We know the difference between corsia. We know emergenza, marcia, sorpasso, accelerazione, and decelerazione. We also know piazzola di sosta, where you can pull over and wait for a while. Now let's go into a few questions. This is the fun part of it. This is the part I really like. So if you made it to this part of this video, let me know now if there's anything you don't understand on the comment section when it comes to carreggiata and corsia before we proceed to the question part. So let's get to the question. Chi intende cambiare corsia non deve creare intralcio o pericolo per chi percorre la corsia che vuole impegnare. So the question said, he who wants to change lane should check not to create danger for the people already transiting or the corsia he wants to occupy. The answer to this question here is very. Let's say you are driving in corsia A and you want to move to corsia B. You will actually watch out. Be sure that you are not creating danger for anybody driving on that lane. So the answer to this one here is very. Question number 2. Prima di cambiare corsia è necessario accettare che le corsie siano separate da una striscia continua. Remember when we were discussing la corsia, we said we have line divided the corsia. We have the continua one, which is a solid line, and we have the tratteggiata one, which is discontinua. So the question is saying, he who wants to change from one lane to another should make sure that there is a solid line dividing the lane. The answer to this question right here is false, because we know only a discontinuous line allows you to change from point A to point B. You can't cross over a solid line, but you can cross over a discontinuous one. So the answer to this one is false. Question number 3. Chi intende cambiare corsia deve controllare che la corsia che vuole occupare sia libera dietro per un tratto sufficiente. So the question is saying, he who wants to change lane should make sure that the lane you want to enter is free. At least you have a sufficient space for you to enter. Which the answer to this question here is very low, because normally you must watch to be sure there is a sufficient space for you to enter. In that way, you are not creating danger for any vehicle driving on that part of the road. Question number 4. Chi intende cambiare corsia non deve azionare l'indicatore di direzione se la strada è libera. So the question is saying, he who wants to change lane do not really have to use the trafficator if the road is free. The answer to this question here is false, because even though the road is free, you always have to use the trafficator. In that way, you are sure and also you are secure that you are not creating danger for anybody on that part of the road. Question number 5. Chi intende cambiare corsia ha l'obbligo di segnalare la manovra col uso di avvisatori acustiche, classo o trombe. So the question says, he who wants to change lane is obligated to use the horn to signify vehicles on that part of the road, which is false. So you don't really need to use the horn if you want to change from point A to point B. You only need to use the trafficator. In that way, the vehicles will get signals that you are about to change from point A to point B. Question number 6. Chi intende cambiare corsia deve segnalare la manovra in anticipo l'indicatore di direzione. So the question said, he who wants to change lanes should trafficate in time. The answer to this question here is vero. Question number 7. Chi intende cambiare corsia deve controllare che la corsia che vuole occupare sia libera davanti per un tratto sufficiente. So the question says, he who wants to change lane should put it into consideration that the corsia you want to occupy must have a sufficient space in the front for you to enter. The answer to this question here is vero. Question number 8. Chi intende cambiare corsia per effettuare un sorpasso deve controllare che il veicolo che sta davanti non abbia segnalato inizio della stessa manovra. So they are letting us know, if you want to change lane, that want to overtake another vehicle, must control to be sure that the vehicle in the front have not started overtaking yet. The answer to this question is vero, because you get to control that part of the road. You get to watch out to be sure no vehicle is already overtaken. In that way, you are sure if you start to overtake, you will create danger for any vehicle on that part of the road. If you made it to this part of the video, I believe by now, if you come across any question when it comes to corsia, you will be able to tell if the question is vero or falso. So now let's go through questions from different types of corsia. So now we'll be looking through questions from corsia di accelerazione. Question number 1. La corsia di accelerazione serve per abbandonare la carreggiata dell'autostrada ed entrare in un'area di sosta. So the question says, corsia di accelerazione. It serves for you to abandon autostrada and enter into area di sosta, where you can actually park your car. The answer to this question here is falso. Remember, when we discussed corsia di accelerazione, we said it helps you to enter into the highway, which is autostrada. And the question is saying it helps you to exit the highway and go into area di sosta, which is falso. Question number 2. La corsia di accelerazione serve ad entrare correntemente in autostrada. So the question says, corsia di accelerazione serves for you to enter autostrada correctly. The answer to this question here is vero. La corsia di accelerazione serve per rientrare sulla carreggiata dell'autostrada dopo che si è usciti da un'area di servizio. So the question said, if you are exiting area di servizio, corsia di accelerazione helps you to enter back into the autostrada. So the answer to this one here is vero. La corsia di accelerazione può essere utilizzata per il sorpasso. So the question said, corsia di accelerazione can be used for overtaking. The answer to this question here is falso. Question number 6. La corsia di accelerazione facilita l'ingresso dei veicoli in autostrada o su strada extraurbana principale. So the question said, corsia di accelerazione makes it easy for you to enter into autostrada or strada extraurbana principale, which is vero. La corsia di accelerazione serve per uscire da una piazzola di sosta. So the question said, corsia di accelerazione serves for you to exit piazzola di sosta, which is falso. So now let's try questions from corsia di decelerazione. La corsia di decelerazione serve ad entrare in autostrada. The question said, corsia di decelerazione serves for you to enter into autostrada. The answer to this question here is falso. Remember we said corsia di decelerazione helps you to exit autostrada, while corsia di accelerazione helps you to enter into autostrada. Question number 2. La corsia di decelerazione serve per entrare in una piazzola di sosta. So the question said, corsia di decelerazione helps you to enter into piazzola di sosta. The answer to this question is falso, because you don't need corsia di decelerazione for you to enter into piazzola di sosta. Question number 3. La corsia di decelerazione può essere utilizzata per la sosta di veicoli. So the question said, corsia di decelerazione can be used for parking of vehicles. The answer to this question here is falso. Question number 4. La corsia di decelerazione facilita l'uscita dei veicoli dell'autostrada. So the question said, corsia di decelerazione makes it easy for you to exit autostrada. The answer to this question here is vero. Question number 5. La corsia di decelerazione serve per uscire dalla carreggiata dell'autostrada ed entrare nell'area di servizio. The question said, corsia di decelerazione serves for you to exit autostrada and enter into area di servizio. The answer to this question here is vero. The last one, question number 6. La corsia di decelerazione serve per uscire correttamente da una strada extraurbana principale. So the question says, corsia di decelerazione helps you to exit strada extraurbana principale correctly. The answer to this question here is vero. We've covered corsia, we've covered corsia di accelerazione and corsia di decelerazione. If you want us to do quiz on corsia di marcia, corsia di sorpasso, and corsia di emergenza, which are the 3 lanes we can't cover quiz on today because the video will be too long, let me know under the comment section. Okay guys, that will be all for today, and I hope you like the video, and if you do, watch this part 1 which covered intersezione incrocio a raso e l'intersezione incrocio a livelli sfasati, and I know you will also want to check out this part 2 which covered passaggio a livello, and I'll see you guys in our next series.